applause for me.
Toe sucking. Who was this and just why?
It's 1992. Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, and Prince Andrew had been divorced for a few months, and Fergie rents a place in the south of France. She took her financial advisor, John Bryan, with her. And not only that, but a pap found them and took photos.
Today's story is an almighty twist in the increasingly chaotic saga of Sarah Ferguson. Just when the entire country thought she was jetting off to Portugal to hide out with Princess Eugenie, a bombshell report suggests she has performed a complete U-turn. And the new plan involves Princess Beatrice, a freshly renovated annex, propane bottles, and what neighbours are calling a mysterious arrival. And yes, the timing could not be more suspicious. This is messy. This is revealing. And it changes everything. Before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next update in this saga. Fergie is reportedly panicking. Her ex-husband, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, has now lost the lot. Titles gone, honours gone, the few scraps of royal dignity he had left gone. And Sarah, who insisted for years on living with him at Royal Lodge, has ended up swept out with the tide. No title, no position, no official role, and now no place to live.
Stripped Andrew of his HRH status and his public duties, and effectively he was a pariah publicly anyway. It would have been impossible for him to conduct royal duties on behalf of the family. And the king has taken it further and stripped him of private funding in a bid to kind of smoke him out of Royal Lodge.
For the first time since the 1980s, Sarah Ferguson has nowhere to live and may actually have to pay rent. But this is where the fallout of the Epstein scandal has delivered her, a total collapse of status. A few weeks ago, it was widely reported that Princess Eugenie was preparing a room for her mother in a luxury £3.6 million villa in Portugal. Ocean views, sunshine, privacy. A fresh start far from the scrutiny. It sounded ideal, almost too ideal. And Fergie was said to be bracing to flee the UK, packing up, checking out, and leaving behind the wreckage at Windsor. Except, now we know that may have been nothing more than a decoy, because a new report has blown the lid off what's really happening. According to new reports, Princess Beatrice has quietly completed a major renovation at her £3.5 million Cotswolds estate. And not just any renovation, a full overhaul of the granny annex, new stonework, repointed walls, fresh paintwork, renovated gutters, new entrance, you name it. And this week, the entire road had to be blocked so delivery teams could bring in propane gas bottles in winter during the first cold snap. Neighbours say it only means one thing: someone is preparing to move in. And that someone might very well be Sarah Ferguson.
Is it right to say the public purse is missing money from the rent he's allegedly not paid?
Well, I don't have the details of that, and I haven't seen and had a chance to go through that information.
One local put it perfectly. It'd be perfect for Fergie, wouldn't it? It may not look like much of a palace outside, but I bet it's stunning inside. In other words, the former Duchess might not be fleeing the UK at all. She might be parking herself right in the Cotswolds, at Beatrice's. Which raises the obvious question, why won't she leave? Why Beatrice? Beatrice is the quieter one, the sensible one, the steady pair of hands in a family filled with chaos. While her mother and father have spent decades ricocheting from scandal to scandal, Beatrice has intentionally stayed out of the firing line. So the idea that she is now offering her disgraced mother an annex on her personal estate speaks volumes. Sources say Beatrice has always been closer to Fergie than people think. She is the mediator, the peacekeeper, the buffer between Andrew, Sarah, and the rest of the family.
The happiest divorced couple, as they describe themselves. She describes herself as being divorced to rather than divorced from him. I've heard her say on multiple occasions what a kind man he is, what a good father, what a good grandfather. But I think what's controversial in these comments is what she says about him being able to come out of the spotlight and get on with his life, because
bringing Fergie under her own roof puts Beatrice right in the centre of the drama, and it puts her in direct conflict with the palace, who would surely rather keep Sarah at arm's length while the Epstein fallout continues to detonate. But perhaps this is exactly the point, because something much bigger is brewing. Allegedly, Sarah Ferguson is in discussions with US broadcasters for a 6-figure American tell-all interview, a full sit-down, no handlers, no palace safety net. And let's be honest, the last time this family attempted a televised confessional, Andrew delivered the single biggest royal catastrophe of the century. And the palace knows it, and the palace is terrified. Because Fergie is unpredictable. She overshares, she rambles, she speaks emotionally, she says things she shouldn't. And unlike Andrew, she has no title left to lose, no status, no position to protect. For the palace, a Sarah Ferguson tell-all is the stuff of nightmares, which makes this sudden move to Beatrice's estate look a lot less like a cosy family decision and a lot more like containment.
I can have someone a patron for charities that are helping children, and this patron is openly friends with a known paedophile, and she knew he was a paedophile by that point. Makes me want to vomit.
I mean, there are certain things you can recover from, JJ, right? We had a prince that was involved in tampon.
Let's look at this logically. Why would she abandon a luxury villa in Portugal, complete with an already prepared room, for a granny annex in the Cotswolds? Because staying in Britain gives her something she desperately wants: proximity, access, visibility. Sarah Ferguson has always been at her happiest, hovering on the fringes of the royal orbit. Just close enough to feel relevant, just close enough to be seen. Being hidden away abroad does not suit her at all. And let's not forget something crucial. If she does do this tell-all interview, she will want the spotlight firmly on her, not thousands of miles away in another country. Right here, in Britain, where the story will explode the loudest. So yes, this U-turn is actually quite believable. But this could be a massive headache for King Charles. The palace already wants distance from Andrew and from anyone tied to the Epstein mess.
British tabloids have published emails sent by the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, the former wife of Prince Andrew, that appear to show Sarah Ferguson thanking pedophile disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein for their, quote, supreme friendship. The significance of that is...
But Fergie being based at Beatrice's estate means she is geographically and symbolically back in the royal orbit. While it does offer a level of containment, her continued presence and proximity sends the wrong message. But here is the positive side for the royal family. If Fergie is within reach, people can drop by, advice can be given, warnings can be issued, and someone can keep tabs on her. If she vanishes to Portugal and decides to run her mouth on a US talk show, they will have no safeguard, no influence, no damage control. So this could be a reluctant compromise. Not ideal, but perhaps better than the alternative. But the real question now is this: where does all of this leave Sarah and Andrew? Because behind the scenes, things are said to be more strained than the public has been led to believe. For decades, they sold the image of being the happiest divorced couple in Britain. Two exes sharing a mansion, sharing holidays, sharing bills, sharing endless loyalty. But the cracks have widened, and the latest reports are paint stripping. Insiders claim their relationship is rocky, and communication between them has all but collapsed. Andrew, in a moment of cold detachment, has reportedly asked Sarah to stay away from him while he deals with his humiliating demotion. Gone is the cosy united front. Gone is the familiar partnership. He is said to be furious, bitter, and spiraling. Sarah is said to be distraught, drinking heavily, and privately shaken by what has been uncovered in recent months. The woman who defended him for decades is now distancing herself emotionally, even if she cannot yet distance herself logistically. She appears to be blaming him for his involvement, failing to take responsibility for her own actions. For the first time, whispers suggest this might truly be the end of their odd, codependent arrangement that baffled the public for years. The former power duo of Royal Lodge might finally be breaking for good. This entire situation is developing at speed, and this sudden change of direction shows that the royal family is still grappling with the consequences of Andrew's downfall. Sarah's shift toward Beatrice's property places her closer to the very institution she insists she is no longer part of. It also places her under far more scrutiny. The move alters the balance within the family and signals that the wider Windsor circle may no longer be prepared to accommodate the old arrangements or the old loyalties. The tensions between Sarah, Andrew, and the rest of the royal family are deepening, and the next phase looks set to be far more revealing than the last. If you want the latest updates on Fergie's next steps, Andrew's deteriorating position, and the palace managing the fallout, be sure to subscribe. The next chapter will be significant. Thank you for watching.